All right, greetings once again, fellow traders. This is Michael Storm, also known as Robin Hood, and it's been a long time since I've done a video. There's a couple of issues there. Number one, I just don't really want to all that much. I don't feel the need. Number two, I have a trading computer that's just loaded up, and I got no room to do these videos anymore. But right now, I'm not at home. I'm on a laptop, and I just put out a tweet a little while ago, and I was thinking about this, and I figured, hey, I've got the space on this laptop, so why don't I go ahead and do it? So I did, and so why don't you join me, okay? What I'm looking at here is AudCad on a daily, and just imagine that somebody held a gun to your head and said, hey, you, I'm talking to you. I'm going to pull this trigger here. I'm going to shoot you in the head unless you purchase Aud Canada sometime this year. I don't really care when you're going to buy it, but you're going to buy it. Choice is yours. Now, what would you do? I mean, if you had to buy it, okay? Somebody is, pointing a gun to your head. You've got to determine what time you're going to buy this thing, right? So if we look at it since last year, well, December of last year, so it's been a couple of months now, we are in an uptrend, right? And traders like to buy stuff in uptrends, don't they? So if we're going to buy something in an uptrend, what do we want? Well, I think we would want a pullback, right? I mean, we don't feel like my "that was easy" button. I like that. I did buy it, by the way, and yes, it was easy. So we don't want to buy way up high because we know that what's up high can come down. You don't feel like buying tops way up here and big fib extensions when all of a sudden something evil could happen to you, like there's your daily sell bar and then you crash for 10 days. That's not a lot of fun. But let's face facts. Somebody has been buying this for 10 days because every sale has a purchase associated with it. Just so happens that right now they're selling the living tar out of it, and it just keeps going lower. So everybody that ever bought it in the last 10 days is completely underwater. They're completely losers, right? So I'm pretty glad I didn't buy way up here or anywhere in the last 10 days, but I can see that 200 MA right there looks pretty good. It's not all bad of a spot. And the 100 MA looks pretty good. And I see that really nice wick right there. I see there's a wick over here as well. And I see these stochastics are completely buried. So if you'll notice, I did buy. You can see my buy is in there. And I'm pretty comfortable with it. These days no one trade is going to make me or break me. I trade very small. Laughably small, laughably small, stupidly small. A lot of traders will, laugh me to scorn for trading like such a baby, but I don't care. That's okay with me. I'm not going to blow out. That's all there is to it. I just refuse. There is no way any one trade is going to hurt me. Okay, so, oh gosh, get that off of there. And, sorry. Anyway, if you take a look way down here, we have an 886 fib and another fib right after it. Okay, I don't know if you can see it all that well. There's an 886 fib right there, right? And if I bring this one up from the absolute low, okay, absolute low to absolute swing high, we have a 618 fib level right there. So I don't know. I mean, the market can stay irrational longer than it can stay solvent. Everybody knows that, and I don't have a problem with that. So I'm not going to go big or go home type of an attitude and buy something, turn around and stop out, a couple of days later, regret it. 2 weeks from now the thing is up to the heavens. And I was like, oh, I was long. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and let it worry me and freak me out. Okay, keeping that black line in place because that's a fib. We know that is a fib confluence. A 618 and an 886 fib is right there, as well as some pretty major spike support right over here. Okay, so why don't we blow our chart up a little bit bigger, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Now, this is not a trade recommendation. I'm not suggesting that you buy this or anything. I'm simply telling you what I'm doing, okay? With my account size, I can go into this thing for as many standards as I want to. But I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do it with standards. In fact, I'm not even gonna do it with 0.5. I'm not even gonna do it with, 0.3 or anything like that. I don't have to. To start off, I'm just getting my feet wet. Okay? I'm buying a tiny little baby slice. Just one bullet. That's all. And I got at least 20 or 30 more of those to go if I wanted to. Not that I'm just going to keep piling into a bad trade. No, no, no. But I'm telling you where I would be interested in purchasing another. It's basically right between these two MAs, the 200 and the 100. Okay? The reason is you've got a little wick right there. If you were to go over to the weekly chart, you'd see the very same thing. You have a 20 and a 40 period right below. Okay? The 20 and the 40 are married, and of course that is the 200 and the 100, and it's that little wick. So I'm going to go ahead and put my buy right there. That's my second little tiny baby piece. Now, do I know that prices are just going to stop where they are right now and shoot up? No, I don't. I have no idea. You see the stochastics are buried. So what? Look at these. They were buried and they stay buried. The stochastics got buried and stayed buried for 5 days before we ever went up. Okay. So I might be wrong. I mean, it's fallen 10 days. I think we're probably due for a bounce, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the stochastics will stay down here for 5 more days. If so, maybe I'm going to get lucky. I don't know. If I get lucky, I'll get that piece to go long. Okay? If not, I can tell you exactly where I want another one. It's right about there. So I'm putting a third piece right there. Now, how can I be hurt when I'm only willing so far to go long 0.15? Is that going to kill me? If I'm down like $50, am I going to die? I don't know how I can live. No, come on, give me a break. Losing $50 on 0.15, it isn't going to do anything to me. Okay? So if price, if I got this wrong and we just sink down here, right, and I have to buy more, it's not a big deal. At a future time, if I get stuck with these, at a future time, I can think about what I want to do. And very simply, I'll just hone in on the different time frames. I'll go down and I'll find myself something that looks really great on a 5 or 15 minute, and I'll pile in with like a 0.15 extra, double the whole trade up, and wait for a decent pop, whatever, get 20 pips or something, and I'll book my profit. Not a big deal. And I'll reach into one of these little baby pieces and I'll wash away a micro lot. So, if I had to do that 14 times, in the next week or two, is that going to kill me? No. Now, maybe I have things right. Maybe I don't. I don't know. And I like the trader, the famous trader there, Mark Douglas, who said we know nothing for sure, and we don't have to in order to make money. And that's the truth. I don't know anything for sure, but I don't have to in order to make money because I have a plan. And my plan allows me a tremendous amount of wiggle room. So if you see what I'm doing right here, I'm zooming out and I'm putting in a trend line. Okay? That trend line doesn't really, I don't think it connects all that well up there at the top, but kind of. And we at least know that it does connect there. So when something is carving a bottom, what usually happens is that you will get, at some point, there will come a 4-hour buy, right? Could be like this one right here, 4-hour buy, and then a whole bunch of bars afterwards that do something like break through, what's that? What's that? What's that? It's called resistance. And so the price went up and broke resistance and then pulled back to retest it before finding support, okay, and then going higher. So what I'm looking at here is this trend line, and I'm looking at the 4-hour channel down. At some point, there's going to come a 4-hour buy. I mean, are you, look, are you honestly telling me that AudCad has seen its highs forever and ever and ever, and it's never going to go into another 4-hour buy again, and it's never going to go into another upsurge for multiple days ever again. Are you sure? Yeah. Well, I don't believe that. So what I believe is that we are going to find a bottom. It is going to get a 4-hour buy. It will receive a bounce, and it will break this trend line. And the reality is at some point, that number is going to come into play. Now, I don't know when, okay? I have no idea when that's going to happen, and I don't really care. But just to reach up here to this resistance is about 80 pips, okay? And a little bit more if you want to talk about that resistance right there. That's about 90. All right, I'll be happy with 80. Doesn't matter if I get 80 or 90. I'm not that, I don't care. Okay, so if I can't stop these messages that keep popping up. If I am wrong, all right, and price goes down here or price goes down here, I'll get my second and third fills. What would be so wrong at that point with saying, okay, let's get rid of this one, the upper one that I purchased, and we'll just bring it up to some easy resistance, right? So, something like over here, lousy 35 pips, and I let go right there. What is that area on a 4-hour? It's just simply coming up to the right, declining 20-period moving average. So would it be a big deal for me to let go of a trade right there, for 30 lousy pips? But what if trade 3 I hold on to, and I get to bring that thing all the way up here? Well, it won't be 89 pips. 80 to 90 pips at that point. It will be, hold on one second and I'll tell you. 80, if that was a stop loss, that's about 80, 75. So that'd be about 155 pips to come all the way up to here. Right? So I really don't have a problem if, 4 days goes by and I get filled on a little bit more and a little bit more, and then price bounces and I take, trade 1 off for nothing or just a small gain, and I take trade 2 off for maybe, 70 pips or 80 pips or something like that, right? But trade 3 would be the winner at 150. I'd be pretty happy with that. Now, I don't know if you trade like that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you say, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Whatever. That's fine with me. I don't care. I happen to have 53 or 54% gains right now this month, okay? Trading in a very similar manner to what I'm showing you. Okay, I have a 53% gain in a month. And what's today's date? Wow, I still got a couple of days left. So, I'm probably going to hit 60% gains in 1 month. So I like it, and I'm just offering you an idea, a suggestion to possibly reduce your size, think like a baby trader. Don't let any one trade make you or break you or hurt you in any way. Trading ought to be fun. Trading ought to be relaxed. Trading ought to be peaceful. Trading doesn't always have to be sweaty palms and, gut-wrenching stomachs and nervousness and, I can't walk away. I can't even go pee. I can't even go grab a cup of coffee because, my trade could move up or down 5 pips and kick my butt. I mean, is that trading or is that gambling? I don't like that. So I would suggest maybe shifting your gears a little bit. Me, I diversify. I'm stuck in about 30, 35 different currencies. I trade them all. Every major, every minor crossed against itself gives me about 35 to maybe 40 at the tops currencies that I even care about. Now, I know my broker has more, and there's some brokers that offer even 80 or 90 different currency pairs. I don't need 90 currency pairs, okay? I don't need 9,000 stocks. I just need 30 to 40 good currencies that I care for. And I diversify. I put myself into a basket, and things tend to work out well for me. So I hope you liked the trade idea and the little bit of talk that we just had. Thanks for sharing your time with me. I know your time is precious. And feel free to leave a comment if you want to. Tell me I'm insane if you feel like it. That's okay. And maybe I will do some more videos in the future. All right, have a great trading day, everybody.